stories. There's the NDC's Bediako wins Akwatia seat. That's a story that is making most of the online portals and also the newspapers as well. And also another story, the law is the law. The nation divided over the Chief Justice removal. And also Mahama left ban on state land sale, Torkonoo removal, judicial coup. So says the minority. These are the lead stories that you find on the Daily Guide. On the publisher, also CJ's removal branded Ghana's day of shame. There's a story you want to have a look at in the Ghanaian publisher. And also Chief Justice removal of Sophia Kufu calls the process a rigmarole. Sorry if I got that right. In quotes, that's what she's saying. She granted an interview, of course, and also Mahama left ban on state land sale. The Ghanaian Times has Akwatia license from NARC only public caution. That's according to Brigadier General Maxwell Buba Mantain of the Narcotics Control Board? No, it's not a board, it's an authority.
Commission.
Okay, commission.
Yeah,
Sorry.
think.
Thank you for that education. And also, there's another story about a president lifts ban on sale of public lands. Ghana Water also headworks risk closure due to high turbidity. The story in the page 13, according to one of the officials there. And Bupa posted $45.5 million in profit for 2024. And Ghana tops, I know there's a story that you'd be interested in, Kojo. Ghana tops global exporters of shea. In the shea nut or the shea, that's the
shea nut, shea butter related derivatives
2023. So these are the stories on the papers.
We should not only top it, we should be getting the money for it. We have been topping the money, topping this.
They are not kept
get the value
outside, they are brought back into the country, you know.
Oh, let's go to the news center. Reason cited 2 week for warrant to warrant CJ's removal. This is former Chief Justice Sophia Akufo. Chamber opposes reduction of mining lease years from 30 to 15. Takwa mine to anchor gold fields long-term growth in Ghana. 500 needy students get lifeline. MTN bright scholarships cover food, tuition, stipends, accommodation, and laptops for entire study period. And Mahama's grip raises fears of supreme leader. If you go to the custodian, president must release report on CJ's removal process. This is according to Ko Abaka Isuman. He was the lawyer for the former president Nana Akufo-Addo when he was president. Petition not strong enough to warrant Torkonoo's removal. This is Sophia Akufo and CJ Torkonoo sacked. King Mahama now controls judiciary. This is according to the minority. And gold price hits record high. The president has also lifted the ban on transactions on state lands. If you go to the publisher, Azoka threatens to kill minority leader, assault NPP vice chairman, and yells, you know what happened in Akwatia. Not something we expect from leaders of political parties and leaders in our system to do. NDC wins Akwatia. That's also on the front page of the new publisher. And you can sell state lands. President Mahama lifts ban. So those are the stories in the newspapers. Let's go online, George.
Yes, so let's start with some interesting stories. The lead story, the Kojo has the story about the NP for Michael Baffy saying that and the story says that I'll petition the speaker, Michael Baffy, must apologize on the floor to all. So says Tanko Computer. That's what he said. Interesting development there. And also he's saying that
Baffy said that if the NPP lost the Akwatia elections, he would resign from
Did he make that comment on the floor?
That's what Tanko is
did he make that comment
we'll
on
bring
the
you
floor?
A full report from Akwatia this
Parliament? I just want to ask that.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't
granted that thing in an interview to a media house.
Yeah.
Okay, he's also saying that we will not accept Michael Baffy's apology. He must actually resign. So says Tanko Computer. And also the candidate that won the elections for the NDC, that he's saying that Bernard Bedu says that the people have heard us and they actually delivered victory. So says Bernard Bedu. And also Akwatia is rising again. This win is not only the first step. So says the MP elect Bernard Bedu. So these are the stories. And also the General Secretary of the NDC says Tamale Central by-election election. MPP withdrew because they don't stand a chance of winning.
On the state lands story, a lot of the newspapers, their angle is that Mahama has lifted the ban on the sale of state lands.
Yeah.
The major online angle says Mahama orders audits of state lands.
It's
so
interesting.
that is the major online angle. Let's go to City Newsroom now, George. Okay, now I'll bring you the details from Akwatia. Now we all know that the NDC has won the Akwatia by-elections. This follows their victory in Ablekuma North as well.
So City online also has Torkonoo's removal. No CJ should endure such rigmarole again. So says Sophia Akufu, and she's raising concerns again about the way things were. It appears that when the Council of State met, she actually recused herself from, if I'm right, in terms of voting on that issue. Also, a bit about the gold prices hitting record levels as well. Interesting development there. For many people, the impact to be on our earnings for the first 6 months of this year, Kojo, we earned more than $8 billion. And so now that we've been asked, the Bank of Ghana has asked the banks to actually, or these mining firms to release these inflows to the commercial banks, that could help improve liquidity on the market.
We can earn more than that if we're processing and adding value locally. So this 8 billion is largely raw gold that we've exported. It's the same with the share
and
story.
even
the same
declared gold.
Exactly. So if we tighten the system a little bit more, if we invest in processing and value addition, gold should be giving us over 50 billion, 100 billion a year easily. And that could transform our economy. So it's great we are making money from raw gold. It's great we are making money from raw share. It's great we are making money from raw cocoa. But it's better if we added more value and turned around our economy.
Kojo, you're talking about gold. Let's also bring you some interesting news about the current Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission. Isaac Andrew Stando has been appointed by government as the acting chief executive of the institution. The appointment happened actually on August 29, but he's actually expected to formally resume office on September 15, 2025.
Now, let me take you to Akwatia. NDC's Bediako has won the Akwatia seat. The story says the governing National Democratic Congress candidate for the Akwatia by-election, Bediako emerged victorious after yesterday's turns voting to represent the constituents as their member of parliament. As at the end of press time, the EC had not yet released the results. This is according to the new publisher, but we have all the details on my Joe online, and we have a special report from Akwatia for you. Let's give you that report now. We'll give you more on Akwatia here on the show.
I, Eric Osujelfi, declare Bernard Bediako MP elect for Akwatia constituency.
That was the Electoral Commission's returning officer for the Akwatia by-election. The governing National Democratic Congress (NDC) has secured a supermajority in Parliament with a decisive victory in Akwatia. The party's candidate Bernard Bediako won the hotly contested election with 18,199 votes, defeating the MPP Solomon Asumadu, who polled 15,235. Bernard Bediako thanked supporters after his overwhelming victory.
After engaging the people, we read their reaction towards the message we gave them, and we saw that it had really imbibed. They gave us a hope, some hope of sorts, which hope has resulted to what we see today. I mean, we've always been very confident.
Supporters of the NDC's candidate hit the streets in jubilant mode after he was officially declared winner.
I'm telling the people of Akwatia to expect better things coming to the Akwatia constituency. And I'm assuring them that with the help of President John Mahama, everything is going to be possible.
The defeat leaves the MPP with 87 MPs as opposed to the NDC's 184.
So the NDC has won the Akwatia by-elections. The NDC gets an extra MP in Parliament. We have our colleagues Blessed Soga and Kojo Brace live from Akwatia joining us this morning. Blessed, good morning. Kojo, good morning. How are you guys this morning?
Yeah, good morning. We're good.
And how is Akwatia this morning, Blessed?
Well, I believe things are simmering down after quite a contest yesterday, and so almost everything is simmering down after the fiercely contested exercise. Initially, the NPP was in high spirits, hoping to win the election, until, of course, now the result is out, pointing out to the fact that the NDC is just flipping a seat that used to belong to the NPP just in the last 8 months.
Now, last night we saw a lot of traffic and activity on the streets of Akwatia, specifically the Bodua areas and some of the other main streets. Is that activity still ongoing, or people have calmed down? Akwatia is coming back to normal this morning. And aside that, what were some of the key observations you saw that you'd like to highlight this morning for listeners?
I think life is returned to normal, but what we'll say about in terms of about observations be about the security arrangements around the election. I think the IGP has done a great job because the number of men who were deployed there yesterday was a little over 5,000, and it's turning out that these men have supported IGP to ensure that there were coordinated events that did not result in any sort of violence, as it is the case for many by-elections that we've witnessed in the past. So I think that will be a great setting point for the elections yesterday.
As a journalist, looking at what has happened in previous by-elections, how did you feel when you got to Akwatia yesterday? Did you feel safe reporting on the various issues, or the arrangements made? Did you feel safe? Did you feel unsafe? And how has the whole process been for you from a journalist point of view?
In the early parts of the exercise, we were scared as journalists, because then, knowing what had happened in Ablekuma North, the expectation was that this would be another charge exercise. Indeed, at the beginning of the exercise, it did turn out as such when, of course, members of the NDC were not happy about the activities that some supporters of the NPP, specifically those who were following the minority leader, Alexander Penyumakin, were engaged in. They had raised concerns about the flyers or the banners of some of their candidates being removed, and that resulted in a little confrontation. But the police was very swift about it. In fact, they ended up picking up one individual from the NDC side who was threatening violence. We were right there when, of course, he was threatening the minority leader, the general secretary of the NPP, simply because of the flyer issue. But the police was swift; they addressed that, and of course, ever since, of course, that issue was resolved, the exercise was smooth, and it was just like a blind throughout the day.
Kojo, if you can hear me, you were in the collation center. We saw you on TV last night, getting all the results for us. Tell me, how was the atmosphere in the collation center, and how did the various parties react after the final results were announced by the EC officials?
Well, it was in the collation center. I think that now the political parties are able to do their own coalition, and therefore they are able to tell what is happening. So I am guessing that even before the Electoral Commission got half mark of collating the polling stations, the political parties knew exactly how it was going. So, in the coalition room, we're trying to find if we could find any of the national executives from the NPP or any of the prominent faces. We couldn't find any, but there were. I saw one person who I was introduced to as the elections director of the NPP for the constituency, who was there. The NDC had always had said that their coalition had told them they had won. So it was just waiting for the Electoral Commission to do the official announcement. So it was a very calm atmosphere. The NDCs were just waiting for the results coming. The police, I must say, I was very impressed with how they went about protecting this particular election. At the coalition center, when we showed that video on screen, you could see how the police had lined up in front of the coalition center, giving an indication that no one could come and mess up here. So it was a very calm atmosphere. It was a very, very calm process, and then we got down with it as soon as the results came in.
Any protests so far?
Oh, no. I haven't heard any. I mean, when the results were declared, I didn't get the NPP protesting against it because they saw the results. And I'm sure, like I said, they knew from their own coalition that the election had gone to the in the favor of the NDC. So nobody protested. They all spoke, and then we left.
You've covered quite a lot of by-elections and elections in general. What are some of the very positive things the EC did, the security agencies did in Akwatia that you think we should take into other by-elections in future and general elections?
I think for the security, some residents were complaining about the sheer number of policemen and women in the constituency. I think it's because of the history that has characterized that here by election. That's why they brought it back, and it was good work. So I think we should keep it. Based on intelligence that the police will gather, if they have to go to election or constituency with a certain number of police men and women, they have to do it. Because yesterday, the presence of the police gave a certain, amount of believe that this election will not go sour. Because from what Blazer was saying about that earlier, I got quite scared, and I was even questioning why I was here. But when the police came in and we were able to bring matters under control, I felt very, very secure. And especially when we got to the coalition and I saw how the police had arranged themselves, I thought that this is good. I think the police should keep it out based on intelligence. If they have to do it the way they did. The electoral commission also, I think the election in several police stations started very early, on time. So I think they should keep that arrangement that they put in place, and then it will be good for us in our subsequent elections.
Now, there's something we observed in the morning. We saw earth moving equipment constructing roads in the constituency and a few other things. It would be great for you guys to go back to that same position to see if the machines are still working,
Okay. We'll try and go to one of them and check whether or not the machines are still there.
Now, all in all, how do you all say when it comes to the media and the role we played in the elections? What would you say? Have we acquitted ourselves very well for the people of Ghana?
Yes, I think we have. I mean, we were everywhere. Whatever happened, the media was capturing it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen a video of myself where
I'm actually surprised you are up this morning, both of you.
Right. So again?
I'm surprised both of you are up this morning and you are speaking to us.
Oh, Kojo, you know the commitment all of us have towards this job. When your seniors, your colleagues call you that Charlie will put you on at this time. Whatever the case is, you need to be ready for it. You need to prepare for it. So just as you are ready and you are in the studio presenting, I mean, it's okay for us to also be up and be speaking to you. It's just because of the commitment we have towards serving Ghanaians and serving the nation.
Thank you so much for your commitment, Blessed and Samuel. Thank you for your live updates from Akwatia, and to the whole team and to the whole EC Police Service. Thank you for the work you did yesterday.